What exercises should I not do when suffering from sciatica? Well, everyone, you ask me a lot in the clinic what I can and cannot do. I have compiled questions and exercises that I think are not appropriate to do when suffering from sciatica. Let's get started. The first thing we shouldn't do, impact sports and ballistic twists. Go for it, Isa. Look, Isa is practicing tennis and generating a ballistic twist in the lower back, which will cause irritation and likely the disc compresses, causing it to bulge and leading to more sciatica and additional issues. Turn your head and gaze in that direction. When we engage in this particular motion, we generate twisting forces that result in both compression and torsion. The mechanical effects of compression and torsion play a significant role. What happens to the disc? What happens to that shock absorber? It will suffer greatly. One of the most common questions is whether patients can engage in paddle or soccer activities. Unfortunately, the answer is a resounding no. Certain activities that involve rapid movements, using weights, or playing sports such as tennis, boxing, and soccer have the potential to exacerbate nerve inflammation. Twisting movements can exacerbate irritation as they cause instability in the spinal column, which is something we must absolutely steer clear of, particularly when it comes to lifting heavy objects. The usual box. Isa, please lift it. Incorrect. Look at the leverage we are creating in the affected area. Participating in such activities is strongly forbidden due to the considerable amount of spinal disc pressure and compression it may generate, worsening your pre-existing sciatica condition. A better way to lift weights properly is outlined below. This text includes 83 characters. Isa, let's slightly open our feet, approach the box, lower while looking forward, we make contact, and looking forward, we lift with the strength of our legs. Lifting a box should be done in the correct manner. However, when you lift any weight in the correct position, it will still place pressure on your lower back, as previously stated. When your disc compresses and bulges further, it can exacerbate your sciatica, potentially worsening the condition. So, lifting weights is prohibited. Large. Lifting heavy weights increases the pressure exerted on your discs, leading to potential issues, including the herniated one, which can further compress the sciatic nerve and cause more pain and inflammation. Guys, another thing you should avoid is lateral loads with weight or asymmetrical weight loads. Look, the typical shopping bag. Let's observe what happens when we turn around. We load the weight, and in the other hand, there's nothing. We turn around. Additionally, by simply leaning and exerting pressure and compression on the discs, I am able to directly stimulate the nerve root, consequently intensifying the symptoms of sciatica. It is crucial to avoid carrying loads sideways or unevenly, as this can have significant consequences. Another thing you should not do is twist your torso with weight. Why? Because in addition to the twist that will add extra pressure to your discs, with the weight the leverage will increase and you will suffer compression in the disc, causing irritation of the sciatic nerve. If you twist using weight, the pain you experience will increase. You are not allowed to move. Follow this prohibition strictly. As previously stated, the twisting motions of the spine can increase pressure on the disc that separates the vertebrae and the nerve that runs from the lower back to the leg, leading to heightened discomfort. And you will heal later. The abdominal exercise taught in school is something you should definitely steer clear of. It's completely devoid of any correct technique. We have a wide range of motion during lifting, especially if we rotate while lifting. Lifting incorporates various movements. Well, worse. What occurs when we do these exercises? They impose a significant amount of stress on the psoas muscles and cause the spine to be compressed, which is contradictory to the need for decompression. To effectively work out your abdominal muscles and see improvements, you can incorporate this straightforward exercise into your routine. Inhale through the nose. We blow out while lifting just a little. Exhaling, we contract the abdomen, which is very helpful, and then we relax. And there's not much movement, which means less compression in the lower back. Performing abdominal exercises that involve rotations can certainly cause discomfort to the sciatic nerve, particularly when done while experiencing pain. Another thing we need to avoid is any exercise that increases intra-abdominal pressure. While it may appear trivial, performing activities such as using the restroom or employing techniques to equalize pressure, for instance clearing your ears, is a Valsalva maneuver, and that should be avoided. Lifting weights, and hold the pressure or do any exercise. Take a deep breath and retain it for a while. This poses a great challenge as it raises the pressure within the intervertebral discs, worsening the discomfort caused by sciatic pain. Finally, a bonus recommendation: activities, including exercise and non-exercise options for managing sciatica. Use common sense, folks. Running for long periods, walking for long periods, moving, as I mentioned, doing exercises that cause pain. Everyone has a very different fitness level. While sciatica may not cause pain for some individuals who engage in specific exercises during the early stages, others may experience significant discomfort caused by variations in their muscle structures. But most importantly, ensure that pain does not appear before, during, or after exercise. This will keep you on the right path. I have already instructed you on what actions to avoid, but let's now focus on 3 simple tasks that we are capable of performing. When flexing our knee, it is important to position our left foot on our right knee, thus ensuring that the pain caused by the sciatic nerve is localized to the left side. And we will perform a gentle pumping motion that we can do for at least 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, or 2 minutes. This will be beneficial for starting to stretch the whole back area of the buttock and the piriformis. If you are up for it, try a stretch later. We will stretch the knee by grabbing it and perform this exercise for 2 sets of 40 seconds. The main focus is to directly target the piriformis muscle and promote relaxation, which is scientifically shown to alleviate sciatica. Finally, I would suggest 2 exercises that I love. The Cobra pose. Let's lie facing down, resting our upper body on our lower legs, sitting alternatively. Tucking our head in, and this exercise creates a self-stretching of the spine while starting to stretch the entire back area. After holding this position for about 20 or 30 seconds, we transition to the Cobra. Resting on our forearms, we will stretch our legs and look up toward the ceiling. We will transition from a flexion to an extension to start gaining mobility in the lumbar area, which is extremely beneficial. I hope everyone understands the exercises you can do for sciatica pain. Make sure you follow them properly. I've been clear, but if you have doubts, leave a comment, subscribe, like us, and to Healing and Beyond. Goodbye. Goodbye.